Hello again, everyone. We are Gaming by Gaslight, and welcome back to Starbound Frackin Univserse. We're going to be doing a bit more building today, and to start, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3. We're going to be building, hopefully, a little church-type thing for our little community here, because our community probably deserves a cool church or chapel-y type thing. I feel it fits. I mean, we're going for a kind of steampunky town, and, you know, any historic town needs a good church, doesn't it? So, yeah, plus I also just wanted an excuse to build a bell tower, because bell towers are always cool, and at some point a clock tower as well. Funnily enough, I was actually originally thinking of maybe building a clock tower here. It's not quite even, is it? Alright, but this... You know what? That's still kind of off, isn't it? It's not as centered as I'd like to be. It takes 5 squares to put one of these things up, but I can't get it to look right. That kind of annoys me. But we will deal with it. We will deal with it as we always do, and that is just by pretending the problem does not exist. Alright, let's see. Is that more or less centered? Let's see. 2, 2, 2, and 2. Alright, that is absolutely perfect. Alright, so we can kind of put ourselves a little window there. I think that looks nice. It's gonna be, you know, very... This is kind of like the same design I normally go for windows. I kind of wondered to myself if maybe I should be... like, completely encasing it in the like, thicker bricks, but I think this looks okay. I think. Does it look okay? I hope so. Alright, so let's start building our little stairway to heaven here. Alright. And this feels like it should be an easy build. Probably, maybe. We shall see, I guess. That's really all you can do if I keep making the same mistakes. We shall see. And just a simple thing, because I feel like just having a nice, relaxing day of doing a little bit of building and making our fledgling community look nice. You know what? I don't like that. I don't like that window there at all. It does not fit. It does not look good. It doesn't belong there. We will make it all. We will paint it all black. And by black, I mean it'll be just nothing but solid stone all the way up. And you know what? That doesn't sound particularly appealing either. Maybe we'll, I don't know, a little bit does that look right? I don't know. All right, let's. I'm thinking here. I'm trying to think to myself. You know, like, what would a good old school, like, Victorian, Gothic, steampunk cathedral really look like? I think you want a bit of wood in there, a few wooden supports, so at least you have a bit of visual differentiation. That looks god awful. Mostly because it started off as a mistake, and with me just putting down the wrong kind of bricks. And then thinking to myself, you know what? I'll just go with it and see if it works. It did not. It looked hideous. Can't even keep straight today. I haven't even been drinking. I say that as if it should be a surprise that I haven't been drinking, but I almost never drink, to be honest with you. Too much of a control freak. Have to be constantly in control, so losing sobriety is not an option in my mad world. Anyway, so let's see here. Learn a little bit more about Gaslight every day, don't you? Yes. You know what? This is sort of alright. I am not convinced that wood bit looks right at all. Maybe if I made it... You know what? I'm probably going to change that at some point. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't have the right... That certain something that says, this is for me. Alright, and here is going to be where we put the roof. of, like, the main building area. We'll put a couple of tiles down here so we can also designate that as a roof, just so we know. We'll kind of keep building up here, like this, and like this, and so on and so forth. You know what, actually, this is not... What the heck's going on over here? That's really weird looking, isn't it? Let's fix that by actually finishing... That still doesn't look quite right. You know why it doesn't look right? It's because the stair here, there's a gap. It's obviously meant to touch, like, the wall. But I don't like doing that because you then don't have quite enough room to actually get on top, and you sort of have to jump, if memory serves me correctly. So I like to build it more like that. For the love of... Get in there, you. Alright. I don't know. I think this will still turn out mostly alright. The wood, again, it doesn't... It's not quite right, but I have committed to this design decision for now, so we're gonna go with it, even if it looks ugly, I guess. We can always tear it down and fix it later. But for now it will do. It will serve our purposes. And that, I guess, is probably... Oh, for the love of all that's good and holy. That's all that matters. Oh, for the love of... Alright. Not a lot of progress there. Now, I feel like I'm unnecessarily tense today. I don't know what that's all about. Though, my dog is actually... He's currently off at the vet's because it's his, snip day, if you know what I mean. Poor guy. I feel like he'll never trust me again. I don't know if I would trust me again after such a thing. Oh, I'm sure he will. He's a very forgiving dog. Perhaps too forgiving. Anyway. Alright, so that worked out. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he'll be fine. I mean, almost nothing ever goes wrong and stuff like that, and at the end of the day, it's for his own good to make sure that, you know, because he's at that point, he's old enough where the hormones are starting to go, and by go, I mean, you know, he's ready for, he's old enough that he could be impregnating all the other neighborhood dogs, and we don't want that. That would not be good at all. I'm sure he'll be fine. He'll be okay. Everything will be great. Alright, so let's see here. I want some kind of wooden pillory type things there like that. Will this look good? Or like holding up the roof of the church. The roof of the church should be made out of wood, shouldn't it? Like, that would make some level of sense. Alright, so we have our churchiness going here. That's not quite high enough, is it? No, we want this to be at least 2 squares higher. Alright. Okay. You know what? I think this is going to be a nice looking little chapel-y type thing. Should be okay. There we go. Something like that. And then, you know, even one more just for good measure. There we go. Actually, now that I think about it, could I attach this to, like, can I just... Oh, good, I can. Alright, because I'm thinking to myself, why have this solid bit when I could alternatively just do this. Excuse me, sir. There you go. Little something like this. And then we put our bell in here. Oh, no. Oh, no. God damn it! It's still not even. I thought I had made this thing even. Now it's even less even than it was before. Alright. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. Hang on a second. This is not looking nearly as good as I had hoped it would. Oh, it does need a roof. Alright, never mind. In that case, cancel all of this. Tear it all down. Destroy it. Get rid of it. Okay. Back to what we had before. Alright. Sometimes. You know what? That's good enough. I am not tearing this down. I actually tore this whole thing down right before I started recording. Oh, but that's gonna anger me. I had measured it out. I had convinced myself that it was right. Obviously, it was not, though. Alright. Okay, tear it all down. Everything. All of it. All of it must go. Well, not all of it. I mean, we can salvage most of this, but it is going to be... Well, this has to go. Because the ceiling area is going to be very different. Alright, smash all of this. Good. In fact, you know what? Because I wasn't convinced that wood design was good in the first place, we are going to... We're going to completely get rid of it going forward. It's gross, it's ugly, nobody likes it. Alright, there we go. Alright, we'll fix everything else as we go. Well, no we won't. I do need to tear down this wall. Alright, there we go. I mean, I'm not going to tear the whole thing down because that would be silly. Alright, but we'll tear some of it down. Alright, there we go. This will do. I am amazed that door is still standing, but not for long. Oh, I've got so much to tear down. So much to rebuild and change to be better. But for now, we'll fix all this as we go. Alright, good enough, good enough. There we are, let that drain out. Okay. Now to fix what I broke in the first place. You know what? I will just build the stairs like this. You know what? It works out. It's all good. It's fine. It'll be perfectly fine. And nothing will... It won't look bad. It'll be great. We'll be happy. Alright. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? Don't question yourself. Just keep building. And at some point, it will look the way you want it to. Okay. That's the important thing in life. Don't question yourself. Just throw yourself out there. See what happens. If it doesn't work, then you haven't failed. You just learned what didn't work. That's the most important lesson you can teach yourself in life. So don't bend yourself out of shape over it. Probably saying that more for my benefit than for your benefit, but... Because I don't know about you, but for my own part, I tend to be really, really hard on myself. If something does not go exactly as I envision it, I tend to get really down about it. It's not a good thing, to be honest. It's actually rather self-destructive, and kind of creates a situation where I can never be happy with my successes because I'm always brooding on my failures. Even though I know, like logically I know not to do that. I know that, in fact, it's weird, because on the one hand, I do very much agree with the philosophy that, you know, you don't fail in life, you just find what doesn't work. Or at least that's the way you should look at things, I think. And yet, that doesn't stop me from constantly belittling myself and beating myself down whenever I make a mistake or whenever I get something wrong or, you know, whatever. And it's not helpful. It does not get things done. So it is something I should endeavor to, you know, to not do. And yet I continue to do it anyway. It's weird, isn't it? How you can logically know something that you should be doing, and yet you find yourself not doing it anyway, and instead doing perhaps a less optimal way of handling things. You know what? I'm not even sure if I like this. You know what? No, no, you know what? I think I prefer... I want the 2-tile high roof. I think I'll go with just the 1 brick thick ceiling there, because 4 bricks thick is a bit too much. The reason for these gaps is because I haven't quite figured out yet if I want to put some kind of... Like, how does this look? You know what? I like that. That's going to stay. That suits us just fine, I think. Alright, let's get this thing going here. And you know what? At the end of the day, this still ended up more or less the way I would have wanted it. So that is a good thing. See? Didn't fail. Just figured out a new way of doing things. There we go. Alright. Now, I am going to tear some of this down, because I think it makes sense, to a certain extent, to have this kind of open up here at the top. Alright, so we've got that. And then we want our wooden bits here, like so. 2, 4, 6. Okay. Then, one more there, and then we'll kind of run this like so. Okay. So far, so good. And this... Does that still look off? No, I think that's right. Though it's too low still. Make it higher, because we want it to be a little high. Also, I forget. Does this bell actually ring? I think it rings. I hope it does. If it... I mean... Yeah, because there's a ringing bell... No. In the glitch mission, that ringing bell is a different object entirely. Right. Alright, let's do it like this, because we want the bell to be hanging a little. Alright. So we've got this, like so. We have our bell, like so, which is finally centered. That is centered, right? Or at least as centered as it's going to get. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. It is perfect. That is exactly how we wanted it. Do we want to fit little wooden supports in there? Or in this case, copper supports? Is there room for copper supports? The answer is no. Okay, so we can't have those. Which I think those would look good, but I'd have to make this, I think, like 2 or 3 squares wider on either side. And after all the work we have just done, I am not doing that again. So... Plus, it's not that big of a deal, I think. You know what? Let's actually air this all out here. We've got another idea. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We will embed this into the roof. Alright, does this bell do anything? It doesn't. That is actually the biggest disappointment in my life, that I can't make this thing ring. Alright. So how do we properly build the roof? And is it as simple as just tiling this over? Let's see. I don't know, that's... It's not quite right, is it? It's missing a certain something. I can't put my finger on it. But, it is missing something. Maybe it's the wood. Maybe I should have built this all out of brick. Maybe that would have been better. We do want this to get really pointy, though. Compared to some of our other buildings, which can be less pointy. Beautiful. That is the perfect pointed roof. We can stick... Well, actually, no. We can't stick anything on that because it's 2 squares wide, which means unless we put something that is itself 2 squares wide on there, it's going to be off-center. See? Off-center. And we can't have that. That would be... Oh my god. We could actually turn this into a clock tower instead of a bell tower. That would not be bad. But it's not quite what I want, so we're not going to do it. Would brick look good here? No, it would not. That would look absolutely hideous with the wood. I mean, already I'm not entirely convinced that the wood here is the right call. It's not quite the same as brick, is it? You know what? Yeah, I don't like the wood. I'm going to keep the wood here. But we're going to replace all of this with brick. I think that's going to look much better. Let's find out. Alright. We've got this. We've got that. We have a little bit of this in here like this. A little bit of that in there like that. Okay. Let's see. How does this look? You know what? That is looking much better already. I am satisfied with the outcome. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. We have all of this in here like so. Oh yeah. Yes, that is... Now that's a bell tower that I can be proud of. Okay. Good. Alright. Yeah, we do want a little bit of an open space here. So that the bell can ring for all the world. Or something like that. Yeah, you know what? That's good. Except for this. We do have to tear all that down to make it all uniform brick. There we go. That just mwah, beautiful. Work of art. Alright. And then this is here so you can jump out and get some hardcore parkour action going on there. Alrighty then. Finally, I have something I'm happy with, and it only took basically the entire episode. I do have to ask, though, do you guys like this format that I've got going on so far with doing full-length building episodes just at regular speed? I'm just kind of blabbering away as I build stuff of dubious quality. This is also where those gothic candles would look really nice, no doubt. Well, except for the fact they have skulls on them. Unless we're worshipping Cthulhu in here, or something like that. Or Satan. I mean... After all, the latest Crusader Kings 2 expansion has, if it's taught us anything, it's that apparently Satan is all-powerful and has the best bonuses altogether. Or something like that. Something like that. At least based on what I've read. Every time I read about Crusader Kings 2, I'm always tempted to pick it up, but I never do. Mostly because it is a pretty big investment. Since I think, like, if you bought everything... now, when it's not on sale, it would cost you, like, well over $100. And I don't have that kind of money to invest in a game. Not right now. I mean, then again, the smart thing is probably not to buy everything when it's not on sale, and only buy the stuff you actually plan on playing with. But, yeah. That's the one problem I've always had with Paradox games. Well, not always had. It's the one conundrum, rather, with Paradox games is that they're fun. And they're definitely worth the money if you like grand strategy and stuff like that, because you will get thousands of hours of playtime out of them. Assuming you have thousands of hours of time to play, of course. But even so, the financial investment up front is kind of daunting, is it not? Of course, then again, there's a lot of games these days that are explicitly microtransaction heavy, and no one bats an eye at those. Which is totally a lie, because there is a well-known and fairly vocal part of the gaming community that does not appreciate the fact that the so-called pay-to-win mentality is slowly kind of creeping its way into certain genres and such. Alright? Something like this. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going with all of that, other than the fact that basically I am perhaps feeling for if anyone would be interested in seeing me play Crusader Kings 2 or any other Paradox-type games in the future. Or something. Yes. I mean, I play EU4 on the channel already, so that's a thing. Alright. And Stellaris every now and then. Speaking of Stellaris, there is an upcoming expansion to that coming out soon that we'll probably want to take a look at. I should think. Alrighty then. There we are. Nice little ceiling there. I don't know. I guess what I am doing with all that chatter is just getting a feel for what sort of stuff may be of interest. Incidentally, I'm also trying switching up my schedule and having an EU4 video, in fact, go up today instead of usually where I kind of pair it with RimWorld. Just experimenting with my schedule to see what makes the most sense in terms of making sure that people can see the content from my channel that they want to see from my channel. Yeah. Alright, 2 more down. Anyway, but yeah, getting back to the topic at hand, I mean, with this building, is it entertaining? Is it good? Would you rather me sort of make it more montage-like, where I just I don't run everything on camera. I just sort of what am I trying to say? Would you rather see, I guess, me building like in a time-lapse sort of fashion, and maybe just the Starbound soundtrack or something playing in the background there, and stuff of that nature? I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with the interior yet. I mean, we're going to want interior stuff like this, but I haven't figured out exactly. What I really wish was that there were some nice stained glass window type things, because that would create a really, really nice bit of architecture there, I should think. And you know what? I don't know why I put that there, because I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do yet. I'm probably just going to have regular windows, like possibly these, or maybe even just straight glass. Or no, I guess these will do. Like, I wish I could paint these and have them, like, actually get really vibrant colors. But they don't, unfortunately, so that's a thing. Or do they? Maybe I have because I don't really use the paint tool that often. I can't even tell what color that might have turned it, if it changed color at all. So, yeah. That kind of confirms that feeling. I wish I could get more vibrant colors with the paint tool. Like, really vibrant reds and greens and stuff, because then we could get some cool little stained glass patterny things going on there. But anyway, we'll figure out how we're going to fill the interior of this later. Possibly off camera. Just like we'll figure out, I guess, the continued, or how I'm going to continue kind of doing Starbound-y type content. Because I don't think Starbound's going anywhere anytime soon, especially with 1.3, which I wrote it down. I thought to myself, let's talk about 1.3 this episode. I did not mention 1.3 at all until just now. So, yeah, we'll have to talk about 1.3 and what's coming up with that next time. Though for now, that's going to do it for this episode. So until, well, next time, I thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that like button, or maybe leave me a comment down below to let me know what you're thinking. And I will see you all in the next video.